Is Might and Magic Darkside of Xeen a bizarre oddball or a straight-laced classic, underrated gem or rose-tinted relic, essential milestone or skippable footnote? Why not all three? My answer is a resounding yes, with extra fireballs. Released in 1993, New World Computing's fifth entry slammed a full-size sequel onto the back of Clouds of Xeen, then whispered, "Combine us and unlock a secret super game." Think of it as fantasy RPG Voltron, each cartridge strong on its own, but together they form World of Xeen, complete with bonus dungeons, alternate ending, and NPC gags that break the fourth wall harder than Deadpool. Bizarre. The final boss is a shape-shifting guardian pretending to be a usurper king who moonlights as a space probe. Classic. Its first-person grid may look creaky, yet aficionados swear the open-world freedom still outpaces modern loot treadmills. Over or undervalued? Ask the forums. Half proclaim it the last true Might and Magic. The rest dismiss its cartoonish digitized actors as bargain bin Doctor Who. Fundamental or disposable? Considering later sandbox RPGs lifted its dual world gimmick wholesale, I vote fundamental, like discovering New Game Plus before New Game Plus had branding. Historical context slide back to early 93. New World Computing, fresh off Might and Magic Full, Clouds of Xeen, wanted to prove that the aging grid crawl formula still had legs and wings and teleport pads. Sierra's Quest for Glory 4 was flirting with voice acting. Origin's Ultima Underworld had pivoted to free-look 3D. Doom was mere months from chainsawing the market. NWC's response: double down on color, sprawl, and unabashed pulp. They shipped Darkside on 8 high-density floppies, with an alternate 5¼ inch set also clocking in at 8, promising that if you already owned Clouds, you could slot the new discs into the same directory and, abracadabra, unite two hemispheres of the planet Xeen. It was half expansion, half sequel, half marketing flex. Yes, that's 3 halves. Xeen bends Euclidean math. CD-ROM reissues the following year folded in digitized speech and Redbook tracks, but the DOS floppy build remains the canonical ritual for masochists who like swapping discs mid-pyramid raid. My first encounter came via the 3-for-1 fantasy pack at Babbage's. Cardboard sleeve, neon dragon art, and the promise of 100+ hours of open-ended adventure. I installed Clouds first, roamed the cheery surface realm, then popped in Darkside and felt like I had unlocked a forbidden mirror universe. Sunlit meadows replaced by volcanic plains. Perky peasants swapped for vampire queens. Is this DLC before DLC existed? I asked my 14-year-old self while the sound blaster burbled orchestral MIDI. The README file screamed yes in ANSI art. New World Computing's broader lineup in 93 was equally eclectic. Heroes of Might and Magic was still 2 years off, but the studio had just published Spaceward Ho on PC and mailed floppy demos of Zephyr, a forgotten flight shooter, to anyone who sent in a warranty card. In the RPG space, SSI's Goldbox series was winding down, and Eye of the Beholder 3 left players lukewarm. Markets were ripe for a confident, content-stuffed dungeon plotter. Darkside delivered by offering a main quest stuffed with cosmic lore, Sheltum masquerading as Lord Alamar, Queen Kalindra vampirized and bottled like gothic ketchup, and optional side dungeons that could level a party from ingenues to demigods before lunch. The kicker, when you finally fused both games, a completely new pyramid opened, bridging plots from Book 1 through Book 5 and detonating the long-running Korak vs. Sheltum rivalry in glorious VGA. Mechanics boot Darkside, and you're greeted by the ever-cheerful character roster. 6 adventurers arrayed in a first-person viewport, each portrait animated in 256 color comic book style. Core classes include knights, paladins, archers, clerics, sorcerers, and druids, plus the rowdier barbarians, stealthy robbers and ninjas, and all-terrain rangers with hirelings you can bolt on like temporary DLC companions. Movement is tile-based. Forward 1 square, rotate 90 degrees, the digital equivalent of playing chess while wearing a VR headset strapped to a 486 DX2. Sounds archaic, maybe, yet the rhythm becomes hypnotic. Thunk forward, swivel, peer into the distance where cyclopes patrol. Press Q to quick swap to automap, a parchment overlay that fills in only after you physically slam against every wall like a Roomba with a broadsword. Combat triggers whenever hostiles occupy your forward tile. The engine freezes into a turn-based slugfest. Party axe, monsters retaliate, rinse, and fireball. Spells escalate from quaint, magic arrow to school lab accident. Starburst nukes every enemy tile outdoors. Lloyd's beacon bookmarks coordinates for insta-teleports, and Town Portal makes FedEx look sluggish. Halfway through Darkside, you earn Fly, converting tiled planes into a 3D chessboard. Your party hovers above chasms, while ground-bound trolls shake fists like angry Muppets. It felt revolutionary in an era when most RPGs still punished you for thinking vertically. The quest design is free-range Mayo, sure. The Dragon Pharaoh begs you to find 3 energy discs to power his pyramid, but the world never gates you. Want to sprint into the Southern Sphinx at level 3 and punch mummies worth 50,000 XP? Go ahead, just don't complain when they crit you into dust. My proudest speedrun anecdote, I once pilfered Queen Calindra's mirror off a vampire bat thanks to a string of lucky initiative rolls, bypassing an entire quest arc and confusing the NPC flag system so badly that the Dragon Pharaoh congratulated me for defeating Lord Alamar a full 10 hours early. 1990s code, folks, held together with bubblegum and Monty Python references. Humor pops up everywhere. A vendor selling fine leather jerkins insists on the pun. A talking well dispenses stat boosts in exchange for gold, then belches. A sign outside Necropolis reads, "Population dead." My favorite Easter egg is the rumored pixelated Elvis hidden somewhere in the Darkside desert. Click him, and your party receives a 1-point personality boost because apparently the king has charisma to spare. That absurdity becomes my thematic throughline. Xeen treats comedy like the 7th party member, always there to lighten the cosmic stakes of Sheltum's planet-folding antics. Let's rant about the economy. Gold floods and faster than you can cast Bank Blast. Not a real spell, sadly. Hirelings demand weekly salaries that dwarf NASA budgets. Training halls charge exponentially for each level, and the banks of Vertigo and Olympus pay ludicrous 10% monthly interest. Compound it right, and you can retire your party before touching the Pharaoh's pyramid. Inflation? Never heard of her. But the true money sink is attribute fountains. A moat-encircled spring promises plus 5 might for 50,000 gold once per character. If you're like me, you'll micro-optimize who drinks first, save scum the RNG in case the fountain glitches, then realize you just spent Saturday night spreadsheeting a fantasy well. Modern live service games dream of this engagement loop. Graphics, chunky but charming. Monster sprites scale as they approach, growing from postage stamp goblins into screen-filling ogres before vomiting 12-frame animation loops. Backgrounds shift palettes per realm. Ash gray underworld, neon magenta cloud city, turquoise desert. The CD version adds full-screen digitized cutscenes. Sheltum snarls, Korak intones exposition, with lip sync that looks like puppets overdubbed in Esperanto. Sound blaster effects ping with satisfying crunch. Each sword swing sounds like striking a radiator. Each spell like someone bottling thunder in a jam jar. Addictive? Absolutely. After 40 hours, the "you are victorious" sting still hits like Pavlov's bell. The absurd connective tissue I promised earlier. The magic mirror network. Throughout both Clouds and Darkside, crystalline mirrors teleport you to cities if you guess passwords like Hubble or Einstein. Why do medieval peasants know 20th century scientists? Because Xeen is secretly a terraformed shell world orbiting a distant star, built by spacefaring ancients. The party wields long swords but references NASA, genre mashup perfection. That mirror becomes my comedic anchor. Every time a lore drop veers toward melodrama, somebody types Newton into a gem and whooshes across continents like Scotty beaming hobbits. Nerd metaphor unlocked. Legacy and influence. Despite critical praise, Computer Gaming World lauded its sheer scope and effortless integration of 2 titles. Darkside never reached the mainstream cachet of Ultima 7 or Baldur's Gate. Timing hurt. A year after release, gamers pivoted to texture map 3D. Grid crawls looked archaic next to System Shock or Elder Scrolls. Arena. Marketing didn't help. Box art featured a generic sorcerer blasting lightning at a bat. Shelf browsers mistook it for shovelware. Yet its design quietly seeped into later RPGs. RPGs. The dual world unlock foreshadows Pokemon's linked cartridges, Golden Sun's password bridging, and the shared state files of Mass Effect trilogies. Mechanics like free fly and persistent automaps reappear in Might and Magic 6, still revered for its fly across the world spell. Even Etrian Odyssey's embrace of hand-drawn map scribbling echoes Xeen's DIY cartography, except Xeen did it inside the game. No graph paper required. For superfans, Darkside endures as the apex of the Sheltum saga. Book I spawned 1986's Secret of the Inner Sanctum. Book 2 followed with Gates to Another World. Book 3 hopped to Terra. Book 4 built out the clouds. And Book 5 resolved the space probe gone rogue storyline in bombastic fashion. Korak and Sheltum self-destruct inside Alamar's throne room, their duel rendering both sides of Xeen whole and re-energizing the cosmos. Later installments rebooted the setting, but old-timers still quote the finale like MCU fans reciting "I am Iron Man." That emotional resonance spurred a mod scene. World of Xeen editors let players craft bespoke dungeons, add jokes, even import selfies as NPC portraits. In 2004, my friend replaced the Dragon Pharaoh's hologram with Shrek. Lore integrity died, but morale hit plus 99. Why niche then? 2 words. Barrier to entry. Newcomers confront ancient UI, manual spell requirements, forgetting walk on water means soft locking an entire sea dungeon, and DOS memory fiddling. GOG's re-release bundles DOSBox presets, yet the average TikTok gamer still bounces off the tiled movement faster than a Dr. Mario pill. Another factor, Darkside's humor straddles 1990s dad joke territory, Elvis skeletons, Star Trek nods that modern grimdark tastes deem cringy. I'd argue that camp is the franchise's secret sauce, but in an era chasing photorealistic angst, Zest can read as dated. Closing paragraph plus score. Revisiting Might and Magic, Darkside of Xeen in 2025 feels like cracking open a holographic pop-up book. Each page flips to reveal lava caverns, cloud kingdoms, and talking wells that insult your hygiene. Beneath the chunky sprites lurks a design manifesto still radical. Let players wander anywhere. Let spells rewrite traversal, reward curiosity with comedic flourishes. Yes, the grid movement can induce claustrophobia, and yes, inventory Tetris with 6 party members will turn your scroll wheel into a smoking nub, but those quirks fade the moment you solve a pyramid puzzle by typing Edison into a mirror, pop into free flight, and rain meteor showers on dragons 8 tiles below. Is it perfect? No game featuring a random moose cameo in a lava zone seeks perfection, yet its sheer ambition, the audacity to fuse 2 full RPGs into 1 mega campaign, earns everlasting respect. Darkside is the hidden hinge in CRPG history, connecting 80s wizard grids to 90s sandbox epics, all while cracking puns at stat fountains. My verdict, scrawled in neon gel pen across the ancient psychic user manual, 9.0 out of 10. Docked a single point because the bank's 10% interest rate ruined my adolescent understanding of economics, but crowned a legend for proving that bigger, brighter, and unabashedly weirder can still feel timeless.